This is Tulsa Welding College's ultimate Frisbee recruiting video. Woo! As it is well known, ultimate Frisbee is becoming one of the world's greatest sports these days. Anybody who knows anything about anything knows that these days, if you want to play ultimate Frisbee at a college, it's not good enough just to practice. You've got to be recruited. You've got to know how to train.
If you're watching this video, you've probably been accepted to Tulsa Welding College, the #1 ultimate Frisbee college out of all the nation's welding colleges. Watch this video if you want to know how to be an ultimate player.
Ultimate!
I'm Parker Emery, captain of TWC's Ultimate Frisbee team.
And I'm Troy McNash, the co-captain of the Ultimate Frisbee team.
Throughout this video, we're going to teach you many things to become an ultimate player.
We're going to teach you the philosophy behind Ultimate Frisbee, such as how you can learn throwing technique, also blocking technique. We're also going to be showing you health and dieting. Everything you need, if you're up for it, to be an Ultimate Frisbee player for TWC's Ultimate Frisbee team.
I've been the captain here for 6 long years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's that you need to take the Frisbee everywhere with you.
See, to be an ultimate Frisbee player, you've got to learn that it's no longer you and the Frisbee. First you learn to be the Frisbee, then you learn how to be ultimate. Then together you become one, and you become Ultimate Frisbee.
Okay, basically we're going to show you some philosophies behind becoming the best ultimate player you can be.
Now we're going to show you some different kind of throws.
Within Ultimate Frisbee, throwing technique is one of the most important things you can do. You can't just throw the Frisbee. You've got to know how to throw it in unique and diverse ways. Also, you've got to throw in some of your own originality. A good solid throw is the underhand. This can throw your opponent off guard and get him to be confused.
Very confused. It's very important to have the basic throw down, but you need to make sure your technique is correct.
And make sure you have a lot of power behind your throw. It's up to you to throw it hard. You know, the person you're throwing to, it's their choice whether they catch it or not. Throwing through the legs is a great technique too, but make sure the refs aren't looking. Sometimes they find it indecent.
This is the sexiest of all the throws. The tomahawk is Troy's favorite throw, but this is very dangerous. Last year he crippled someone.
He had it coming. Another great throw is just simply throwing it over the head of your opponent. You can do this with 2 hands, twisting the Frisbee in a fast-like motion. If you really want to be a great Ultimate Frisbee player for TWC, it's not good enough to just have your throws down. You've got to bring some originality to the table. One of my favorite moves, something I like to call the Ulysses. You put it around the neck, throw it in a whip-like motion. Our Captain Parker's had a lot of original moves that he's made up. One of his best, it's known by all our opposing teams, what's called the dementia.
That's a scientific name for brain loss. I named this next one after my biggest fan, Pele. Now that we have all the throws down, it's not good enough just to be able to do these. You gotta practice with people. You gotta know how to throw around the defenders.
Yeah. Whenever you're trying to get around your opponent, make sure you move around a lot. Try and confuse them. I like to, make them think I'm throwing one way, then give them a good underhand.
You throw the opposite.
Yeah. Or maybe a good tomahawk. Yeah. Make sure when you're trying to throw the Frisbee too, you don't be taken advantage of. You don't have to be the victim in this. You can bring them some intensity too. I like to sometimes smack my opponents down, then give them the old Ulysses.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate.
I've always said that accuracy is the foundation of Ultimate Frisbee. Now, if you can't be accurate, you can't play Ultimate Frisbee. I like to practice by throwing into a doghouse a couple 100 yards away.
Now the main thing of Ultimate Frisbee is a good diet. And what I found is solid food has to go. That just adds weight. And you can't throw the Frisbee, catch the Frisbee with all that weight. I haven't eaten solid food in 4 years. It's been Tang mix, orange juice, eggs, that's not really solid because I blend them up. A lot of smoothies and Red Bull. A lot of coffee too in the mornings and while I'm practicing.
Now there's a few philosophies to dieting for Ultimate Frisbee. One of them, like our captain, he likes to say, thin and lean so he had high endurance. He drinks a lot of coffee, pounds the Red Bulls down, tries to avoid solid food. But for a player like myself who likes to be high impact, likes to knock guys around a lot, you gotta have a lot of upper body strength. You gotta have a lot of weight to you so you can hit the guys down and also throw the Frisbee really hard. Things that I try and go for when I'm dieting, I try and pick foods that are high in saturated fat, cholesterol, and also a lot of protein in them. There's a lot of different meals I like to make. One of my favorites is, you get an egg, put some peanut butter on it, some lard, put some more vegetable oil on it, maybe put a few steaks on top, then deep fry the whole thing and eat it. It's all you need. High fat, high cholesterol, and high protein. Part of what Tulsa Welding College does for its recruiting is we actually have a trainee program where we take trainees and we bring them through training sessions, teaching them the philosophy, throwing techniques, all the things we're going to teach you. Here's one of our trainees to explain what his experience has been like.
Well, I started out walking to class one day and these guys came up and grabbed me and told me that I wanted to play Frisbee. I didn't really want to, but I did, and I think I've learned some stuff. I usually just go and pick up the Frisbees whenever they throw them in the bushes, and get some drinks, and I think I've learned a lot. They explained to me what they're doing with their techniques, and I understand most of it sometimes.
This is Tulsa Welding College's Ultimate Frisbee recruiting video. Woo! Yeah, Nick! Woo! Woo!
I like it, I need the balls.
I'm kind of worried about you, Neil.
Hey, mister, can I get your autograph?
Whatever.